Tomi Lahren, whew, welcome to reality, baby girl. I could have told you that there's no such thing as freedom of speech without stipulation and consequence. It was career suicide to remain so silently oppositional, especially coming from a voice who's so vocally stern. The first lesson I've learned in what we do is to be openly communicative and consistent with your audience. This is where respect is generated, right? So if you lead your followers to believe that you are 100% conservative across the board, naturally, your followers are going to expect 100% conservative views. So when you switch things up on national television and vocalize your support for abortion rights, of course America's going to look at you sideways. Of course America's going to question your integrity as a public figure. We're so fed up as a country with inconsistency and half-truths that when we come into contact with them, reputations are hindered. Whenever you are introduced on a platform other than your own, it normally goes something like Tomi Lahren with the blaze. You're not representing yourself like you seem to think. You're representing your employer. You're also representing the millions of followers and fans who counted on your consistency. So despite what you may think, Tomi Lahren's feelings don't actually matter. And even though that's where your signature originated from, it would be naive of you to think that your emotions are greater than money flow and view count. And not only have you not maintained consistency within yourself and your audience, but you have also made your employer look bad because you have not maintained consistency with him or his place of business. Abortion naturally is a sensitive subject across the globe, not just within the United States. So while I understand it was a poor business strategy on your part, my moral admiration comes in when you stepped up and said, hey, this is what I think, and I don't give a damn what anybody else has to say about it. However, with every word we speak comes consequence. So the fact that you're surprised, shocked, and upset by this effect is confusing to me, especially when you derail and delegitimize anybody in the public light who is literally doing the same thing you did. I do my best as a speaker not to contradict myself. It's difficult at times, as I'm sure you've now notated. But hypocrisy masked with blonde hair is all I see now when I hear your name. And that has nothing to do with the opinion you so valiantly exclaimed, but because you have, by your own history of labels, become that which you conclude final thoughts on. That is unacceptable. I understand how badly that sinking feeling you have right now is taking effect. Trust me. To feel as though you're being betrayed by those of whom you've been loyal to, all because you did what you felt was right in your heart, and have everyone turn against you, is the shittiest feeling that a human can experience, and I don't wish it on anybody. But I'm not going to feel sorry for you because I didn't feel sorry for myself when it happened. To all the Tomi Lahren past and present fans, if y'all don't do your research on the individual you're following before listening to what they have to say, you are literally idiots contributing to the problem. In October of 2016, Tomi was quoted saying, "I believe you can be anti-abortion and pro-choice, and that's where I sit. Personally, I would never encourage anyone else to have an abortion. In fact, I've counseled friends against it. I do not believe in abortion. However, as someone who views limited government, I do believe that during the first trimester, that option should be there for a woman, and I stand behind that." Fair enough. And y'all act surprised that she claimed pro-choice. Why? Because she also claims conservative values as well? Stop. I am deeply disappointed in your fast-paced decision to refute the career that Tomi has made for herself. Somehow, at some point in time, y'all developed this twisted idea that in order to claim a political party, you must claim all aspects along with it. And that's not how reality works. I consider myself a Republican. I'm Republican by nature, but stand behind a couple Democratic values as well. My followers have known this since day one. They also know that I'm not going to warp my opinion simply based on a need for their satisfaction and approval. I'll be damned. To dismiss anyone over an opinion is in large part the reason why political ideologies are so distorted with conditions and self-destruction. If it is that easy for an individual to lose full respect for another simply because one view is not their view, then that's not an individual I want conversing on my page. And I've lost thousands of followers based on my opinions, but the 200,000 plus that remain are normally open-minded and grounded who respect opposing views. And that, Tomi, is how you incite conversation and change. It's not about the number of fans you have, it's about the value that they bring to your life and mentality, and vice versa. Just because you receive a paycheck does not mean that you are required to sacrifice your integrity. And if that was a stipulation in your employment contract with the Blaze, then you had to learn a hard lesson really fast. You're 24 years old. You're a stubborn woman, but I see that you're made of fire and gasoline, and that will carry you a long way in this life. Giving up, Bowing out, recanting statements, and remaining silent is not in our genetic makeup. We don't know how to do that because you and I were raised in an environment where that is unacceptable. This country's eyes may be on you right now, but the moment you allow them to make a mockery of you is the moment that you will not be who I thought you were. America, if you turned on Tomi simply because her opinion on abortion differs from yours, take a look in the mirror and remind yourself who the fuck you're not. You want freedom in this country but condemn others for using hers vocally? While there's contradictions in her words, there's also hypocrisy in yours as well. So you might want to dust off that pretty little finger you're pointing in her direction before taking a step in mine. My name is Emily Longworth. I'm a Republican. I'm also pro-choice. And I'm pro-First Amendment that I put on a uniform and fought to utilize.